Hey, Junior Achievement family. My name is Joel Gray, and I serve as the manager of community outreach for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think every day, just being able to wake up and go to work in a ballpark, the most beautiful ballpark in America, PNC Park. Um, that's one thing that I really enjoy about my job. The site never gets old, so I really enjoy that. But impact wise, I really enjoy doing the little things to make a difference in someone's life. Sometimes those little things make a difference in a lot of people's lives. So I think those are two things that I really enjoy about my job is the place that I go to work, as well as the impact I'm able to make on a day-to-day basis. So I went to school at Robert Morris University here in Pittsburgh, in Moon Township, and my major was sports management. The reason why I took on that major is because as a youth, I got the chance to work as a ball boy for the Pittsburgh Steelers in high school. And a lot of the professional staff there advised that I take these courses and take that major to really learn about the business of sports. And that really benefited me in a way to really learn about marketing, communications, different business practices that we implement on a day-to-day basis with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then before I finished school, I did an accelerated grad program to learn about data analytics. It's called Competitive Intelligence Systems. And I did that to make myself more marketable, as well as learning how to use data to make great business practices. Again, these are some techniques that I use on a day-to-day basis, even though I work in community relations. So I think a leader, one, first has to have a vision. So we can always work on that piece by, a vision is simply whatever you feel inside of you, you want to ultimately accomplish, right? And I would encourage people to write down those visions and revisit them every now and then to see how your life aligns with that vision. After that, I think another great quality is relationships, and it being a relationship builder. So I would challenge a youth to really go out and engage with people that are not from their same backgrounds. Yes, you can have your local friends, but I also think it's very important to learn how to connect with people that don't look like you or didn't grow up in the same area as you, just because these skills teach you how to walk into any room and be able to engage in conversation, and that can get you a long way. And last, I think a great leader is empowering people. And how do you empower somebody? Is knowing your staff and really knowing their weaknesses, their strengths, and encouraging them to, take on projects in their strengths, and then also encourage them how to work on different techniques in their weakness. So I would say those are the three qualities: to have a vision, to be able to build relationships with people, and then also to be able to empower people to help get the ultimate goal accomplished. I think that just be your genuine self. I think it's very important for you to be your genuine self. Whether you're a happy person, or if you're a go-getter, if you're introverted, I would say always present your best self and be transparent about that. To enter into sports, I would also encourage people to somehow become relevant in sports, meaning if you can't get a part-time job or a full-time job in sports right now, at least go volunteer with your local leagues or find opportunities to shadow professionals in the sports, because I think it stands out to hiring managers when looking at what type of experience or engagement you've had in sport. And then for community, even consider go volunteering or shadowing or helping out in the nonprofit space, because I think a lot of those skills transfer well into the community relations of professional sports. So definitely be your genuine self, because any company that hires you wants to add value, and you are that value added based off of, once you engage with that company, they get to interview you, know who you are, and then just get some relevant experience, whether that be internships, volunteering, part-time jobs, shadowing. Just get some experience to really have under your belt. That way you can speak logically to certain topics once asked. I think that criticism is everything. I think that that's the way that I strive and live, is just to hear feedback. Another word for criticism to me is feedback. And to be able to really internalize that, because sometimes that feedback, whether you want to hear it or not, is true. Some piece of it is true. And so once you get through the emotional response of it, make sure that you don't dwell in the negativity, but instead really dive deep into how can I improve in a certain area. So for me, I take a no as another point of direction. A hard no to me is saying, okay, Joel, don't go that way. And then a yes, I don't take those immediately, but I take that as encouragement, and I still trust but verify those decisions. And then when I hear feedback, I really go back and say, okay, what could I have done better? How can I improve? And then how can my improvements be beyond me, right? I think in life we need to make decisions that not out of a selfish nature, but instead out of a nature of what's best for the community in which you serve, or even for the next generation to come. So in criticism, always enter it with an open mind. Don't be discouraged when you hear a no. Look for opportunities to turn another direction. When you hear a yes, make sure you trust but verify what you're hearing at getting approved or affirmed. And then always try to tweak yourself to make decisions, not only for yourself, but for the next generations to come. When I was in school at Robert Morris, I didn't get excellent grades, but I got pretty good grades. But I never got a D, right? And so I took a course. It was microeconomics, and we had like a teacher that didn't speak very well English. It was a little choppy. Long story short, it was hard for me to focus. Anyways, I got a D on an exam, and it hurt me. Like I was pretty down about it, and I remember calling my dad, because my dad would always tell us growing up, hey, when you go to school, make sure you're doing great. I graduated on the Dean's List, and for those that are in college, if you graduate on the Dean's List, that means you average a 3.5 or above. It might vary per school, but that was the case in my school. So I knew I wasn't going to make the Dean's List by having a D on my exams. So I called him, and I was like, Dad, I'm going to be real with you. I got a D on my exam. What do you advise? How did you get on the Dean's List? Long story short, he said, son, I need you to find an equilibrium. And I was like, explain. He's like, make sure that you're making time for, your school, but not only that, for your health, for your social life, and for your spirituality, right? And so that's what I practice on a day-to-day, is that I try to look at my life, and I try to make time for each one of those. For right now, my spiritual life is definitely something that's number one priority to me. Time for social life, because I love relationships and my families and friends. I think they're very important. My professional life, of course, because I have to be a master at what I do at my job. My health, because if you're not healthy, you can't really do much, So I want to make sure my health is up to par of what I'm feeling. And if I need to devote more time on any of those areas, I do. And that's something that I would really encourage you as a youth, is that find things that are very important to you, that make you, and be able to understand how much time you need to dedicate to each one of those spaces. Thank you for your time, and I pray that you and your family stay safe and in good health during this unprecedented time.